Hello, welcome back to my channel. Um, so on the 30th of September, my daughter's fourth birthday, um, I was waiting for my wife, and she annoyed me because she's taking so long. So I revved my car, and in an epic moment of karma, my fan broke the thread here, spun off, and smashed up everything in the car, including, you can see, smashed the life out of that housing. You see that? There we go. All of that smashed up. Uh, Big crack in the housing there. So that's all fucked. Um, it's caused a big gash in the side of the auxiliary belt. So I've taken that off, and I started doing damage control before I turn the camera on. So I do apologise. This isn't from this video is not from the start. Obviously, the fan took itself off. I've taken the auxiliary belt off and a couple of the cooling pipes as I'm making my way back to the timing cover. I'm going to take the timing cover off, remove the bracket that holds the fan, and while I'm in there, to quote our German YouTuber friends, I'm going to change the oil pump, the water pump, the timing chain, and all the rollers and all the idlers, and then put the new timing belt on, new auxiliary belt on, and hopefully have a car that is faultless at the end of it. So this is going to be a bit of a long video. I'm going to try and do it sort of all in one rather than split it up into a timing belt video, an auxiliary belt video, a water pump video, and an oil pump video, because we don't need to see the same footage over and over again. So if you're only interested in one part of that, I apologise. You're just going to have to skip forwards or backwards to see what I do. I'm not a mechanic. I actually really don't know what I'm doing. It is a lot of trial and error. If you see that I've done something badly wrong, let me know in the comments. Please do like and subscribe. Hopefully we can get back to our sort of upgrades and modification videos rather than crisis management videos in the future. But we're going to go to the car. Today I'm just taking everything back to the timing belt, because I'm still waiting for the flywheel lock and the pins for the engine locking kit to arrive before I start loosening off the timing belt and taking it off, because I have watched videos where you use a little bit of paint pen on the crank pulley, and then you just put the pins in. But I'm not that brave, and I don't have the money to buy a new engine if I get it all wrong. And the last thing I want are valves and pistons smashing into each other. So I'm going to be really boring, and I'm going to do it the sort of the textbook way. Take the starter motor out, lock off the flywheel, lock off the pins, and make sure that engine is absolutely immobilized before I do anything else. Because if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing properly, and I don't have the skills or the ability to bodge it. All right, so let's get to the car. I'll show you what I've done so far, and then it's probably going to be a lot of time lapse of me trying. Oh, I'm going to change the oil cooler as well, because I think that's leaking a little bit. So oil cooler, oil pump, water pump, idlers, pulleys. That's what we're going to do in this video. Right, let's get back and I'll show you what I'm doing. Right, here we are. So here is the wheel that the fan came off. You can see the rust in there. It'd been badly cross-threaded before I got it, and obviously it just let go. Fortunately, it let go when I wasn't moving. I was just revving out of irritant to my wife. So there we go. So I'm going to get this off in this video. Hopefully that EGR valve off. pipe off, and then I'll be taking this pulley off, that tensioner off, probably. I think, I don't know. And then obviously I'll be taking the cover off itself. All right. So time lapse mode. Okay, so I've just stopped the time lapse because I found a really important thing that I've forgotten to mention earlier. To get the flywheel uh, pulley off and the water pump pulley, you're going to need Torx sockets. So I bought this little Torx socket set on eBay for not much money. I will put the link in the description, but it's really, really important. That's why I've stopped it, because quite a lot of the videos don't actually point this out. It was only when I was researching this job, I stumbled across one that said you needed it, so I bought it because I have been planning to do the water pump at some point. So you you can't do this job without the Torx sockets. So I highly recommend that. That's a really important part. All right, I'll just show you. There's the water pump, and there's the pulley wheel. So without these Torx sockets, you're going to be scuppered, and this job's made hard enough without not having the right bits. Right, back into time lapse mode. I'm going to get those bits off now. Well, there we have it. We've got the water pump pulley off and the crank pulley off. I made that look a lot harder than it probably needed to be. I would advise, if you're doing this and your flywheel has and your fan hasn't jumped off by its own accord, maybe undo the bolts while just crack them while it's all under tension. Otherwise, what I did was I used a thin screwdriver, put through one of the little holes on the pulley, and it found a hard spot, and I managed to crack the bolts off that way. And with the crank pulley, I got a larger socket on the actual crankshaft end. Uh, Found some hard material to push against and use my breaker bar, which doesn't have any ratchet or anything. And then I managed to break all 6 bolts going round and get that off. Like I said, I made that look a lot harder than it needed to be. But we're now at this stage where nearly all the clearance for for the timing cover is off. I'll just start taking the last bits off, and I'll see if I can get the timing cover off that way, and then I'm going to worry about the butterfly on the top. Right, so like all of my videos, this is turning into a bit of a debacle due to my lack of actual mechanical knowledge and my ability to be a complete brute when it comes to it. I didn't realise that there was a small hole with a bolt in it. I just thought the cover was a little bit stuck on top of the water pump, so I pulled quite hard, and I've cracked it, and I've broken my timing belt cover. This piece is broken off. I'm going to have to buy a new one of those because obviously it's quite an important part. But I've also taken the water pump out. The water pump came out. Where's it gone? There it is. uh, yeah, it's seen better days. Um, yeah, it feels all right. There's a bit of corrosion on the inside. Um, I've got a new water pump. I was planning to do a new water pump anyway. Um, so I'm now the last piece I'm going to take off in this video until the timing chain arrives. The timing chain, the engine locking kit arrives. Is this piece, which is 3 bolts, and that you can see the damage um, which caused the fan to come off. So that's what I'm going to do. That will complete the taking off the, the timing chain cover. It was actually it was actually quite straightforward. It was a number of bolts, which are captive bolts. I'll show you, which they just pull out through there. They they stay within their grommet and they come out, and they follow all the way around. They're quite easy to follow. You just have to run your fingers around the edge, um, um, and you can find them. But don't forget there are 3 bolts in the middle of the timing cover that you need to take out. Don't just take one out and force it like I did, because you'll end up buying a new timing chain cover. Anyway, back into time lapse mode to get this last the fan idler wheel thing out, and then that will be the end of this video. Right, so that's the end of this video for today. I've taken everything off I can take off until the engine immobilizer kit arrives. Then I'm going to be taking the starter motor off, immobilizing the flywheel, and putting the 2 pins in the 2 pulleys in the top of the timing chain to make sure that that engine does not move when I slacken the timing chain off. We'll then get the oil pump out, change the oil pump. The water pump came out today. Once all of the new parts are back in, we'll rebuild. That'll be all in one video. And I think while I was having a little look, I can see a bit of oil in the cooler, in and around the cooler. I don't know if it's oil. I don't know if it's coolant. I've not noticed a coolant leak. I think it's probably oil. Um, so I'll be taking the oil cooler off while it's off the road and doing that, and that will be a separate video. Like I said at the beginning of this, I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a pro, I'm learning as I go. And as you saw, I broke the timing chain cover. It's really, really important. please remember that there are three bolts in the middle of the cover, not just all the ones around the edge. That I'd taken all the ones off the edge. I checked the edge. You can see me using it using my wife's makeup mirror to check that the edge has been done, and I hadn't even looked in the middle. I didn't even think about it. And using brute force and ignorance, I've broken my timing chain cover. So that is yet another thing that I get to put on my parts list, which I didn't need to spend, which I do now through sheer incompetence. So I hope that this video has helped you. If I've done something that I haven't explained very well, write in the comments. I do reply to every comment. Write in the comments, ask me the question, and I will get back to you and tell you what I did. But I hope this video has been helpful. I personally looked for a video on how to remove the timing cover, and that I couldn't find one that sort of showed it bit by bit. So hopefully this has helped. All the ones I found were they're either taking it off, or it was just and it was off. Thus why I broke the thing. Probably if I'd read the Haynes manual, which I bought when I bought the car and is in perfect condition because I've never used it. If I'd read that, I probably would have known to undo the bolts in the middle as well. But I'll see you on the next one when the parts arrived and we can crack on.